Steel Vengeance opened on May 5th, 2018, and instantly became a legend in the coaster world. But now, 7 years later, it's time to ask, is it still smooth? Is it still intense? And more importantly, is it still worth the hype? In this video, we're going to take a look at the full history of this beautiful ride, how it rides today, and what the future might hold for one of Cedar Point's most iconic roller coasters. Let's take a step back and talk about the place Steel Vengeance calls home, Cedar Point. If you're a theme park fan, you already know it's legendary, but even if you're new to the coaster scene, you've probably heard the name. It's not just a park, it's a piece of history. Cedar Point opened all the way back in 1870, making over 150 years old. It started out as a small resort area on the shores of Lake Erie in Sandusky, Ohio. People would ride steamships out to the peninsula to swim, picnic, and escape the city. By the early 1900s, things started to change. The park added hotels, bathhouse, and a few small rides, including one of its first roller coasters, the Switchback Railway, which opened in 1892. It was nothing compared to today's rides, but it was the start of something huge. Over the decades, Cedar Point slowly grew into a full amusement park. It survived the Great Depression, both world wars, and multiple ownership changes. But it wasn't until the 1960s and beyond that the park started going big. That's when Cedar Point became known for pushing limits. They introduced larger, faster, taller rides. In 1989, they built Magnum XL 200, the world's first coaster to break 200-foot mark. And that kicked off the entire Coaster Wars era. They followed it up with Raptor, Millennium Force, Wicked Twister, Top Thrill Dragster, and more. They weren't just adding rides, they were breaking records, one after the other. It's how Cedar Point earned its nickname, America's Roller Coaster. And even now, in the 2020s, they're still innovating. They transformed the old Mean Streak into Steel Vengeance, brought back Dragster as Top Thrill 2, and continue to update the park year after year. With 17 coasters, a massive lakeside location, and one of the most passionate fan bases in the world, Cedar Point is more than just an amusement park. It's a legend. And rides like Steel Vengeance are part of the reason why. Before Steel Vengeance, there was Mean Streak, a massive wooden coaster that opened in 1991. At the time, it was a record breaker. It stood 161 feet tall, over 5,400 feet long, and was one of the tallest and fastest wooden coasters in the world. It was built in the back of Frontier Town, and its wooden frame was absolutely enormous. From a distance, it looked intimidating, the kind of coaster that demanded respect. But looks can be deceiving. If you ever rode it, you probably remember it was big, but not very fun. It had potential, but it became notorious for its rough ride. Over the years, it got bumpier, shakier, and more uncomfortable. A lot of people rode it once and didn't come back. It became the ride you skipped unless the line was short, and even then, you kind of regretted it later. By the 2010s, Mean Streak was seen as a waste of space, a huge wooden structure that outlived its purpose. In 2016, Cedar Point made it official. Mean Streak was closing for good. But coaster fans knew something was up. That kind of structure doesn't just get bulldozed quietly. Then people started seeing the signs. Literally, RMC trucks were spotted on site, and that's when the hype really started. If you don't know who RMC is, they're basically the king of coaster makeovers. Rocky Mountain Construction has taken some of the roughest wooden coasters out there and turned them into smooth, intense, world-class hybrids. They use a system called the iBox track, which lets them lay steel rails onto a wooden structure. This keeps the character and shape of a wooden coaster, but adds the smoothness and flexibility of steel. So what happened to Mean Streak? It got completely reborn. Cedar Point revealed the new name, Steel Vengeance, and it wasn't just a small upgrade. The thing broke records right away. Its height, 205 feet, the drop, 200 feet, speed was up to 74 miles per hour. 5,740 feet of pure intensity. Airtime, 27.2 seconds, the most of any coaster on the planet. It also features 4 inversions, tons of overbanks, and that ridiculous twisted snake dive halfway through. The moment it opened, it was being called the greatest coaster in the world, but that was 2018. How's it doing now? In short, it's still insane. You climb that 205-foot lift hill and already know what's coming. The drop is vertical and throw you out of your seat the entire way down. Then the airtime begins, and it never stops. Every single hill launches you out of your seat. It's not just floaty airtime, it's violent, out of control. Hold on to your lap bar airtime. Ejector airtime. The pacing is unreal. It just doesn't let up. Every turn feels aggressive. Every element flows perfectly into the next. It's one of the few coasters that feels like it's trying to throw you off from start to finish. The second half, honestly, it could be its own ride. Even after the mid-course brake run, the coaster just keeps going, diving through the structure, whipping left and right, hitting you with more airtime when you think it's over. But the ride condition, but how is it holding up technically? Is it still smooth? Is it still reliable? Short answer, yes. Long answer, it's running better than ever. There are rumors online saying it's getting rough. I don't know where that's coming from. I've ridden it in the last few years, and it feels just as smooth as it did years ago. Maybe even better after some touch-ups. Cedar Point's maintenance crew clearly takes care of this thing. The trains run clean, the track feels solid, and there's no serious rattle or shaking. Now, of course, a ride this good still pulls huge crowds. Don't expect to walk on a busy summer day. You're looking at 90 minutes to 2 hours, sometimes more. Even with multiple trains, the demand just never dropped. This is still the star attraction in Frontier Town. So after 7 years, is Steel Vengeance still worth it? Absolutely. It hasn't just aged well. It's still one of the best rides on the planet. It delivers every time. It's fast, wild, and filled with some of the best airtime you'll ever feel. There are other great coasters out there, Iron Gwazi, Zadra, Hakuge, but Steel Vengeance still has a special place. It changed the game, and even now, it's still near the top. Would I wait 2 to 3 hours for it again? Yes, 100%. Let me know in the comments, do you still think Steel Vengeance is the best coaster out there? What's your top pick? If you like this video, drop a like, subscribe, and follow for more coaster content, park news, and Planet Coaster builds. Thank you for watching Triple H Coasters. See you in the next video.